120-gallon heavily planted tank, which include bladder snails, dwarfs, ramhorns, dwarfs, one mystery snail, golden, sleeping, my favorite thing in the tank, dreamy blue shrimp, population constantly out of control, 50 pygmy corridoras, 10 autocats, 30 neon green or cubitai rasboras, and 5 male Scarlet Badis Dario Darios. The Scarlet Badis were purchased and found and hunted for, specifically searching for something that would pick off my baby shrimp at a regular interval and not deplete the population, but to keep it under control, and they are working fantastic. This is a normal day. If I was to drop food in there, there is a video of mine. There's a video of mine on here that you see I'm feeding an algae wafer for my snail, and the shrimp population is so out of control, that poor snail. Half the time my Mr. Snail's crawling around the tank and there's shrimp all over her face, and she's got to pull in her antenna and go in another direction. They're quite aggravating to the other inhabitants, and I'm sure, with the help of the pest snails as well, that I'm not seeing any Corioidora babies or Rasbora babies because their eggs are getting eaten by these items. So if I was to go back in time, I probably wouldn't put the pest snails in, only for that reason. Otherwise, I love my pest snails. I have seen the Badis pick off tiny, tiny pest snails. But again, they were purchased for the population control of the dreamy blue shrimp, and they are working. But between dreamy blue shrimp babies being born or hatching, the Badis get quite thin, I've noticed. So even though my soil is seeded with black worms, and I do have those baby pest snails, they still get quite thin, especially the least dominant males. So I've recently, for the last couple of months, have been culturing microworms and vinegar eels for the first time. I've always cultured many different insects for my poison dart frogs, and I've done white worms for my pea puffer upstairs, but I've never gone into the realm of the tiny worms, and I've done that recently, and I've been feeding them regularly now for 2 to 3 weeks, and finally today I watched them eat the microworms. I physically saw them eat it. You're being very nasty right now. So I know that they've caught on, because I would feed them before and they would still be hunting in the soil for... There's some microworms. I don't know if you can... I would watch them hunt down in the soil for the black worms, and they would be ignoring the little vinegar eels or microworms wriggling in front of their faces, but finally that they're learning to hunt for them, and they're searching through the water column, and it's fantastic. So I expect to see some fatter bellies soon. Like, I think that's too thin. So here's to fat bellies.